Hey there everyone, Chris Kubal here, and I'm going to be tracking some showers and weak cold air funnels for you. Yeah, a new term maybe for some of you, and these are quite literally what I just said. Weak and funnels that form in cold air. Let's take a look here. I'm going to bring into the weather graphics with you, and there you see it. This is just one. This was spotted in northwestern Iowa earlier in the afternoon up near Wahpeton. That's near the Okoboji Spirit Lake area, but this little funnel just barely poking its head out of the bottom of the clouds here. And what's happening is with these weak showers, we have some very minor amounts of instability, and the air in the cold pool that these showers are developing in is kind of stretching a little bit and getting turned vertical. And you're seeing a couple of those showers. So let's take a look at what we're dealing with. Some of those reports coming in this afternoon from Varina to Alexander and Plainsfield down to Roland and Laurel, all having some of these very minor funnels poking their head out of the bottom of these clouds. Now take a look at the cells we're talking about here. Yes, even these tiny little specks, say just southeast of Newton, up near Algona, south of Fort Dodge, and northeast of Storm Lake, even these couple of little pulses, that's how minute these showers are. And I'll tell you right now, you're never going to be able to see any shower-based circulations at what we're looking at with how weak these winds are. So we have seen some of these showers pulsing through as we've gone through the afternoon. This is a look at the last 3 hours. Most of the concentration of this has been over northern Iowa, but we have seen some of those weaker cells getting going into central Iowa as well. A bigger shield of rain up into southern Minnesota, but we've also heard out of this little bit of activity in southwestern Minnesota of some of these funnels coming to fruition. So what are cold air funnels? Well, basically we have the environment of colder air aloft through the atmosphere. And that zone, as the surface begins to warm up a little bit, creates a little nugget of instability, and we call this thunderstorm fuel, but we just have a minute amount of it here for today. It does create some updrafts, though weak, and initially we have some of those turbulent circulations, and we have some sort of boundary in the air, some air-to-air interactions, and some of those rolls will end up being stood up on end. The atmosphere kind of stretches and reforms, and some of those circulations get turned vertically, and we see some of those weak little funnels pop to the ground. Now, they can look very menacing, but usually they're very brief and very weak and rarely touching the ground. Now, if they do touch the ground, even still, I want to stress they are very weak. Typically, winds are even less than 45, 50 miles per hour. So typically, they don't even do damage. But if you do see them make the connection to the ground, ergo, we get a tornado, albeit a very weak one, and you should treat it as such. Now, we'll see this activity kind of fade away. I'd say by 8, 9 o'clock, we will be seeing less and less of it showing up on the satellite than the radar picture. We'll clear out for tonight into tomorrow morning, but look what happens as we go through the afternoon. A very similar setup overall. So we'll have to keep an eye out for, again, some of these weak cold air funnels, I'd say from about 2, 3 o'clock and extending on through about 8 or 9 on Thursday evening. Some spotty showers in there, but very few will actually see that. And those that do, though, you'll have to watch for some funnels trying to form. I want to take you over to the web browser and drive here because what I'm showing you in this particular instance is some deep shear that is in place over Iowa. That means that wind is changing direction and speed through the lowest 6 kilometers quite extensively, and so that's helping give us some of that spin in the atmosphere. But I also want to show you the non-supercell tornado parameter is a little bit higher, especially up near the Minnesota and Iowa border. As we go back a couple of hours, you can see, and even at those minute numbers that are being depicted, it does mean that there is a more favorable environment in place when it comes down to it for seeing some of those funnels come to fruition. Here's the instability as denoted by those red lines that I'm showing you here. And again, we have it just in minor amounts. So not talking about heaps and bounds here, but it's enough. I hope I gave you a nice little explanation on cold air funnels. Can look menacing, usually harmless, even if they do reach their way down to the ground. A possibility that it reforms once again for Thursday afternoon. Thanks for joining me and checking out what's happening across the area. Perhaps you've seen one of these. I'd love to see it. Go ahead and tag me on social media. Go ahead and send it to us via email, weather@weareiowa.com, or drop it in my inbox. I'd love to see and share some more, and of course pass along the report of those funnels to the National Weather Service. Again, thanks for joining me. No matter how you're watching, I appreciate your support. And carrying on with the Local 5 Weather Impact banner here as we go through the rest of this Wednesday afternoon and Thursday afternoon, some of those funnels may be possible. Take care.